this guitar, I'll make sure it's all good. All right, hang tight 1 second.
Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, children of all ages, welcome to Robert's Sports Show. I'm your host, Robert. Major League Baseball All-Star Topic Edition. So many people, so many online on SportsCenter and ESPN talking about the Major League Baseball All-Star Game coming to you Tuesday from Cincinnati. And just the whole controversy on voting on this person got left out, this person got screwed, this person shouldn't be in. But we let people vote online, but yet we disqualify millions of votes because they figured out a way to auto-vote. We do this, we do this. We have, at one point, 8 Kansas City Royals leading, so that's wrong. We got to change the voting system. We have 4 Kansas City Royals players get in on voting. Oh, we got to change the voting system. Either you want the fans to vote or you don't want the fans to vote. I think they need to overhaul the All-Star Game currently. It's not working. Since the Tide debacle of a few years ago, people don't want to see a game go on and on and on. And it's so redundantly boring sometimes, the All-Star Game is, because if you have the best pitchers in the league, they're basically just throwing up zeros. People aren't hitting the ball. So I came up with 2 different ideas how to revamp the All-Star Game. So 2 completely different ways of figuring the roster out, and I'd love to see comments below on which idea you like the best. So the first idea, idea A, you have the fans vote for everything. So what you do is, even the backups. So what you do, you have the top 3 vote getters from each position. Each player would play 3 innings. So whoever had the most votes, so catcher like this year for the American League would be Salvatore Perez. He would play the first 3 innings. Start inning 4, Russell Martin of Toronto would go in 4, 5, and 6. And then for inning 7, 8, 9, you'd have Stephen Vogt, catcher. First base, you'd have Miguel Cabrera. Obviously, he was hurt, so he's an all-star, yes, but you got a second most votes, which is Eric Hosmer. He would start. And then you'd play the first 3 innings. Prince Fielder would play 4, 5, and 6. You would, since you had an injury, you take the next person voting in, which is Justin Smoke of Toronto. He would be the 3rd guy in. So basically, that's how you would go through the position that way. You would have to put a limit, so you would have, there's 8 positions on the field, 3 persons per position. That's 24 players. You play a 9-inning game. You give an extra pitcher. You put 10 pitchers on there. So your roster is 24, 34. You got to have a designated hitter. I think you should have a designated hitter. So obviously in the American League, you would vote for the designated hitter. So you would have one bats the first 3 innings, down the line. For the National League, you would take the top 3 vote getters, regardless of position, that did not make. So whoever the 4th of each position, the top vote getters, the top 3 would be your 3 designated hitters for the National League. You play a 9-inning game. Here's the catch. If it's tied after 9 innings, what do? You use all your players. Great, we're not going to have an extra inning All-Star Game. There's no point. It's for the fans. It's the people the fans voted to be there. So here's how you do it. A shootout, just like in hockey. So before the game, whoever the managers are, they pick 2 people for each team. So like say the American League would pick Miguel Cabrera and Mike Trout. The National League would pick, Bryce Harper and DeCarlos Stanton, say he's healthy and playing. So at the end of 9 innings, it's tied. You have a home run derby. You have the 2 American League players, the 2 National League players. Each batter gets 2 minutes. So whichever team, the 2 American League, 2 National League, hit the most home runs in their 2-minute window, wins the game. Just a shootout, just like hockey. If for some weird reason you're tied, you would pick 1 from each league and have another 2-minute session, and then whoever hits the most home runs wins. If after 2 rounds of this you're still tied, the game's a tie, we move on. I know the All-Star game, it counts, it matters, blah, blah, blah. The home field advantage for the World Series is on it. Malarkey. Go back like you used to do for ever how many years they did it. You rotate every year. 1 year it's American League, 1 year it's National League, 1 year it's American League. Or, number two, everybody's talking about making money. Have the cities bid on it. So you put it up for bid. So maybe this year the World Series gets played in, pick two cities. Maybe you have, I don't know, Arlington, Texas, and Florida, and Miami, Florida. Those two stadiums, get ready. They know when the All-Star game is going to be. They can have festivities ahead of time. So you have a bid for, kind of like you do the Super Bowl. It changes sites every year. Or you go back to the old school and have it this year National League winner, this next year the American League winner. Another option would be whoever, when it comes to the two teams that are, left, and then one for the American League, one for the National League, whoever had a better regular season record. So say you come down to Kansas City and St. Louis, and St. Louis had an overall better record, they get home field advantage. Or if Kansas City, they get home field advantage. And just do it that each year. Idea number two. You take everyone's stats from, you have to cut it off, so you cut it off, like this year, you cut off May 31st. So everybody's stats from June 1st of this year all the way to next year to May 31st. You figure out who has the best stats for each position, with a criteria if they have to play at least 150 games or have X number of bats or whatever. They have to play X amount of games at that position. You figure out a ballot of the top 5 production guys. They can probably get that done in the first week of June. You have 1 month of voting, and then the fans get to choose the starters of the people who qualify based on stats. So that way, one, you get people in there that deserve it, and number two, you get the fans to have a part of it. So you would have the players in there that are, you come up with only 5 players for each position, there's only 5 you can vote for. So yeah, with that idea, you wouldn't have necessarily a person from every team there, but you have the most productive guys. So obviously with the first idea, you would have a chance of having somebody from every team. So what you would do, you would put a limit on each team could send no more than 4. So once you get down, like for instance Kansas City, they had the number 1 catcher, the number 2 first baseman, the number 2 second baseman, number 1 shortstop. Oh, there's 4 Kansas City players. So when it came to third base, you would go to, since Mike Moose was second, you would basically pull him out and then move up Manny Machado, and whoever was the 4th in the valley was your 3rd. Same way with the outfielders, you basically pull their outfielders in and go to the next voting of the outfielders. So that way you have no more than 4, maybe 5 from one team. So you'd be able to get everybody from every team in. If you do just the top 3 from currently in the final voting, you just in position players, not pitchers, 10 of the 15 teams in both leagues are represented. So it can be done, and it could have a chance to get somebody from each team in there. If you limit how many you can go from one team. So that's what I would do to fix the All-Star game. Either one, not make it count. Number one, you wouldn't make it count. And you do something for the fans by having like the home run derby at the end as a prelude to kind of the NHL type shootout. I think that would keep the fans there to watch it. It's tied. This would be cool. Still have your home run derby the day before. Another thing you could do with the whole All-Star is do like other sports do. Make it an All-Star weekend. So Saturday's the home run derby and Sunday's the game. Make it a Sunday afternoon game. I know they want the primetime game. Fine. Maybe do the home run derby in the afternoon. Do a Saturday night game. My only thinking on that would be you have a lot of people who need to go to work the next day, and say the game starts at 7:15 Central Standard Time. You're looking at 8:15 Eastern Time. 3-hour baseball game, you're not going to 11. And if they got to get up for work at 3:30, 4 o'clock in the morning, they're not going to want to stay up for it. If you do it on the weekend, they might be able to stay up for it. Or if you do it where maybe the day before July 2nd and 3rd, a lot of people are off on July 4th. So those are my options to fix the Major League Baseball All-Star Game. Thanks for watching Robert Sports Show. Have a spiffy night. Robert Sports Show, the YouTube leader in sports channels.